Okay, so what's up guys? In this Surfshark review, I'm going to be walking you guys through first of all the features, then I'm going to talk about their speed, then I'm going to talk about Surfshark's security, and finally the pros and the cons that come with using Surfshark so that you will be able to make an informed decision on whether or not the Surfshark VPN is going to be the right VPN for you or not. I'm someone that has personally used the Surfshark VPN, and that puts me in the right position to talk about Surfshark. But before I start talking about all these things and start showing you guys a lot of the things that you might not have known about Surfshark, I want to quickly mention here that when you're done watching this video and you've learned both the pros and the cons and the whole things that I'm going to talk you through about the Surfshark VPN in this video, and you still decide that the Surfshark VPN is something you're going to want to go and use for yourself, then I strongly recommend that you use a coupon link. So I'm going to leave one of those coupon links down below in the description. And these links are going to help you save a lot of money. So now that I've talked about that, I'm now going to go ahead and get the review started properly by talking about the features that come with using the Surfshark VPN. But before that, please leave me a like on this video. I really appreciate when you guys leave me likes on here. It lets me know that people actually enjoy the videos that I make, and it motivates me to make more of these review videos right here. So for the features, the first thing that I'd like to talk about here is the torrenting and the streaming feature. So we use VPNs primarily to protect our privacy, but there's no harm in using them for a little entertainment. So the good thing about Surfshark here is the fact that Surfshark themselves lets us torrent from our favorite torrenting websites like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and a bunch more services. And apart from that, Surfshark has a feature called the camouflage and the no border mode. What this one does is that it makes it easier for you to connect to a VPN when you're in a more restrictive country. For example, countries that ban the use of VPNs in their countries. And the funny thing is that in some of those countries, you can land in jail for using VPNs, but with this feature that is inside of Surfshark, no one is going to know when you use the no camouflage feature, and that way you're still going to be able to use VPNs without anyone knowing that you're using VPNs, and that's going to keep you safe. So the next feature on my list here is the kill switch feature. So this kill switch feature is one that automatically disrupts your internet traffic to prevent it from ever leaking in case there is a drop in network, because let's be real here, almost all the VPNs out there from time to time are going to have drops in networks. But with the kill switch feature, you're going to be in a position where even if the things go ahead and drop, you're still gonna be very secured using the kill switch feature. And apart from that, the next feature on my list here is one called the split funneling. So this one called the split funneling is a feature that's going to let you configure certain apps on your phone to bypass the Surfshark's VPN funnel. And this becomes very helpful if you have some apps on your phone that do not allow you to use them if you're actually on any type of VPN at all, because there's apps like that don't want people to use VPNs on them. So you can automatically use this feature inside of Surfshark to set your app in such a way that that particular app is not going to be affected by Surfshark VPN's VPN tunnels. Instead of turning off Surfshark totally, what you can do here is to just go ahead and, like, for example, turn on the split tunneling on the app. And when you turn on split tunneling on a particular app, what's going to happen is that the split tunneling feature is going to let you use that particular app without it being affected by Surfshark. And now that I've talked about that, the next and final feature that I'd like to address here is one called the multi-hub feature. Now this one is very simple. Just as the name implies, it helps you connect to multiple countries at the same time. So instead of just doing just one country, which is what most of the VPNs out there let you do, what they give you, you can actually do more than one country, and you can connect to more than one country, obviously, from Surfshark VPN, and that actually works. So now that I've talked about these features, we're going to go ahead and talk about the speed. So how fast is Surfshark VPN? Now, I personally tested Surfshark VPN against multiple other VPNs on multiple devices, and the picture you can see on the screen right now is a picture showing the speed test that I ran on different devices. And the good news here is that Surfshark came out on top. So when it comes to speed, when you're trying to browse, your things are still going to be fast, right? That's something that a lot of VPNs out there don't give you. They actually give you the privacy thing, but they don't give you speed. And now that I've talked about their speed, next thing here is how secure they are. So how secure is Surfshark VPN? Now for this one, just like for the speed, I personally ran encryption tests, login policy tests, and DNS leak tests. And the picture you're going to see on the screen right here, right now, is the picture of what I found. So if you're a technical person, you should know that this means that Surfshark is very secure. And now that I've talked about their security, their speed, and the features, I'm now going to go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons. It's very important for you to understand what these pros and these cons are in order for you to be able to make an informed decision. So I'm going to start with the pros, and after that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the cons. So for the pros, the first thing that I like to mention here is the fact that you get access to Netflix and torrenting, and that is something that a lot of VPNs out there might promise to give you, but they might actually fail. Personally, I've tested Surfshark, and I know that they actually deliver on this, and that is something that we must mention here as a pro. So now that I've talked about that, we're going to go ahead and talk about the second pro here as the fact that they have a lot of versatile and robust VPN connections. So Surfshark offers you a lot of VPN protocols, from OpenVPN and WireGuard all the way onto IKEv2 and IPsec. So the third and final pro that I like to mention here is the fact that they give you access to unlimited and simultaneous connections. Now, this simultaneous connections means that you could literally connect more than one device, and you could literally connect to more than one country at the same time. I've talked about this earlier when I was talking about the features, and that is something that we must mention as a pro that comes with using Surfshark. Now that I've talked about that, the next pro on my list here is the fact that they usually have a lot of discounts and coupons going on. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link to one of the coupons down below in the description so that when you actually want to join, you can actually use that coupon and get, like, I think a 2-month free and some extra discounts. I think an 82% discount in total. And that is what I'm talking about. So they normally do that on a regular, and that is something that most of their competitors don't do. So I feel that that should be mentioned as a pro here. I'm now going to go ahead and talk about the things that I did not really like, the things that you yourself might not like about Surfshark VPN, and those are going to be the cons. So for the cons, the first thing here is the fact that their pricing might be a little bit higher, just a little bit higher than that of most of their competitors. We're going to go ahead and talk about the second con on our list right here. And that is the fact that when I was testing Surfshark VPN, I had some issues with their IP rotator feature, and I talked to their customer support about that. They said that they are fixing that. So that is something that I must mention here, because I feel like it's something they can improve on, something they can work on, something they can make better. So it's something that I must mention here as a con. For now that I've talked about the pros and the cons, to round everything up, personally, I've used Surfshark VPN. I've used it to do things like Netflix, Hulu. I've used it for torrenting. I've used it to change locations from different places for different reasons, and I can tell you that it works. It's worth it. It's worth the money. But if you want to go and get it, it's better use a coupon link, save yourself some money, because like I said, they're a bit costlier than most of their competitors. I feel like that is because they actually offer a whole lot more features, like the features I talked about earlier. That said, I think that's going to be the end of this video. In general, Surfshark is a good VPN. They work, they deliver on what they promise. Like I said, you guys should leave me a like on this video, please. Apart from that, you can ask me any questions you have down below in the comments. Any questions about Surfshark VPN or any of their competitors, I'm going to be here to answer all your questions, because that's what I do on my videos. So now that I've talked about that, I'm going to see you guys around. Stay safe out there, and peace out.